done well.
What you want, stranger? I have a date with the marsh, and the tourist that calls it home. Ha! Don't worry. I'll make sure your cousin gets plenty of exercise before he chews my leg off. Ha! Then let me make sure you carve it correctly. I apologize for giving you such a hard time, but you adventurers make such easy targets. Greetings, brave traveler. My clan once knew me as Anam La. The fighters I stand beside, however, call me the Swamp Knight. Well, it's a short story. I carry a sword. I'm from the swamp of Black Marsh. Do you need me to continue, or can you piece it together from here? You're a clever one. Saw right through my glib response. All right, I'll tell you. But it's a long story, so you might want to sit down for this one. I was hatched in a small tribal village, lost in the swamps between Thorn and Hellstrom. In other words, in the middle of nowhere. As the hatchling of a small and pitiful clan, I couldn't afford to travel to the city and train under the guidance of the tribal guard. Right you are. But few boats stopped by my village. There were visitors. In fact, every few years, a recruiter from the city would come to the village and conscript those in the clan who showed promise. Only a handful of hatchlings were chosen. All of them were males. Males I bested in combat 100 times over. I figured the only way I'd be a soldier was to train on my own. So, one night, I went out into the deepest swamps with nothing but a hist branch. I committed myself to killing a feather serpent. On the second night, I thought I'd vanquish 3. By the first hour, my only goal was to survive. Somehow, I managed. I labored through the bog and hid inside a hollowed-out tree. I waited and watched for predators. And as I watched, I learned. I saw how the serpent camouflaged itself in the foliage, how the Leviathan waded effortlessly through the swamp, simply by refusing all effort. I saw how on bright days, the lizard used the Hackwing's own shadow to scuttle around unseen, and how on dark days, all creatures clung to the mist. By the time I was grown, I could slay 5 feathered serpents with a single slash and do it with my eyes closed. That's an old story. Back when the Hrothgar monks had milk in their beards from sucking their mother's teats. Okay, maybe not that old, but old. I was traveling in Black Marsh with a company of fighters. We fashioned ourselves the Honorable 8. We were an elite band of fighters, hired to do jobs common sellswords weren't equipped for. At first, I thought the honorable part was a joke. Our company was made up of liars, drunkards, and lying drunkards. But they were all loyal. And they were all honorable. They were good beasts, mare and men. It wasn't, but Dalum A founded the company to be good and do good, to wash all the grime that stuck in his scales during the war. As such, he'd only agree to work that didn't diminish what we stood for. But contracts have a way of leaving out the details. We were, and we did. The job was simple. Clear out a cave of necromancers that were terrorizing one of the clans that resided near the border. The clan said a hatchling had gone missing, and rumors were abound of corpses stolen for experiments, and live bodies turned into corpses. When we got there, the shadow scale Ula Wei scouted ahead as the rest of us waited near the entrance. He found bear traps and tripwires. The occupants were further in, he said, black-robed mages, chanting. The whole thing stunk like a Thalmor's wet diaper. Traps or no, bandits usually post sentries in and outside the cave. The Nord, Arnwolf, though, he got tired of all the standing around. Black robes and ominous words, good enough for him. Dalum A gave the nod. Couldn't chance it. Some poor hatchling could have been on a table, about to become some sick bastard's war puppet. Sadly, no. The child was on the table like Ula Wei said, but she was already dead. The people around her were mourners. Black robes. They were refugees from Cyrodiil, Altmer, Kadjit, and Argonian, driven from Leaween. To the clans, they might as well have been wraiths. I don't know who struck first. It didn't matter. We killed them all. Well, all except one. It was an Imperial boy, hiding in a small crevice in the rock. I didn't know who he was, or if he was even with the refugees. The boy was a mute. Part of me thought it would be better to slay him, but another part of me saw the hatchling in the swamp, just trying to survive till morning. The company disbanded. Honor brought us together, and dishonor drove us apart. Me and the healer, Elia, went north. The boy, he followed. We split up in Bravo. Don't know why he chose me. Seems to me he was better off with a Breton. But as I kept going north, he never left my side. I don't think Elia would have wanted him around either. Males grow squeamish at the mere talk of children, let alone the sight of one. I kept going north, figuring at some point the boy would stop following me. Gotta give it to the little runt. He had courage. Eventually, I realized I could have walked right into the sea of ghosts, and the little Histcarp would have dove right in. I was halfway through the marsh when I decided to head back to Mortal. I turned to the pesky urchin and told him, "All right, you win." Imagine my surprise when I found myself talking to a patch of death bells. Ha 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 ha! There was no one there. Some may ask why I'm a knight without armor. Others contend I wear the mourner's clothes to honor the brave warriors I slay. Those in my company will tell you I wear it to mourn the refugees who died that day, and all the innocents who die in the pangs of war. I will tell you that there's only one thing in this world I truly mourn. My sanity. Ha 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 ha! True enough, the name came when I joined the company of fighters, many of whom were celebrated warriors from all over Tamriel. There were members who served as honor guards for tribal chieftains, and those who trained under guild masters and various regiments of the Empire. There were even retired assassins from the renowned shadow scales of legend, but none knew of who I was, or why I was recruited to join the company. The truth was, I was never supposed to be there. I had found the invitation on a courier while traveling west toward Gideon. Undaunted, I told them the story of how I trained to become a knight. I used that exact word. In truth, I'd only heard the word knight in passing. But when travelers from strange lands used the term, their words spoke with a tone heavy with reverence. That's how I wanted them to speak about me. Naturally, the company laughed uproariously at my expense. They dubbed me the Swamp Knight, and I've been that ever since. I suppose not, but I hold out hope that somewhere out there are people who speak my name with the same reverence as a real one. Yeah, the town seems much more at ease, although people still don't look Valiant in the eye. Only now, it's out of guilt. But in all honesty, while I didn't fear Valiant, I suspected him. It's just after what happened with my old company, even my doubts have doubts. And with Agni living with him, I didn't want to be responsible for another orphan. What? Never seen a giant milk a mammoth? Ha ha ha! I'm guessing anyone who has was seeing stars shortly after.
Victory, for now. Where are you? What can I do for you, friend? Of course.
Another day, another victory.
Can I help you? Of course. I think you're free. You can't win this!
You'll pay for that.
Truly ready to die? I'll try and make this quick.
Pay for that?
Killing you will make for an excellent story. That your best, huh?
No! You're a fool.
Time to die. Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
Where are you? Yes. Huh? Help me! Help me! Are you here to save me? Please get me home. As you wish. Just don't forget about me. Oh, did you need something? What? Did you need something? Until next time.
I am a daughter of Skyrim. I love this land.
Well, that was embarrassing. Brought to the ground by a couple of weak little bandits. I even had a plan, too. I was going to charge in and catch them off guard. Take all the thinking out of it. Only I tripped on the stairs on the way up. Story of my life. I nearly fell over the edge before one of the bandits, of all people, pulled me back. Then the two of them started using my face as a target dummy. The sad thing is, if we fought in an empty room, I could slay a dozen of these jesters, as clean and easy as the snow and frost fall. But out here, sometimes I feel like I'm fighting underwater. Nothing ever seems to go right. I'll be fine. If there's one thing I can handle, it's a beating. My sister Bertilde always said I was tougher than a mammoth and half as smart. She was a real slaughterfish, my sister. People who are willing to tell the truth when it's cold and hard and naked on a fork. They usually are. It's been a long time since I've seen her or my brother-in-law. Maybe it's time to stop adventuring and come back home. I just need a couple of hours to get my stamina back. I know it's hard to believe given what happened, but I am a strong fighter. Hell, people say I'm one of the most promising warriors to come from the Pale in a long time. Someday, I will prove them all right. If you want, we can talk at length later, but first I want to get back to Dawnstar. I'll be staying at my sister Bertilde's. And the name's Tikrid, by the way. Pleased to meet you.
Just stoked to get the cold out.
Yes?
Yes? You've done well.
Thanks a lot. You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger.
Till next time.
Good to see you.
Out with it.
I'm sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Do you need a room? Drink?
Can I help you? I've got a good feeling about you, and I don't often get good feelings about anything. A warrior knows to trust her gut. I worry that a bunch of snowberries are out there earning glory while we stay out of it. We sure showed them, eh? Is there anything
All right,
else?
then.
Where are you? Hello, friend. Thanks a lot. Of course. Oh. Where are you?
I am a daughter of Skyrim. I love this land.
Boost!
Well, welcome to you. All right, but if you get arrested, do not blame it on me. No, I don't believe those rumors, my friend. Besides, who would ever want to harm such beauty? May your road lead you to warm sands.
There is a welcome to you, fellow traveler. I hope that you will come to do business with us again.
I welcome you, friend. How may I serve you? Quite the opposite, in fact. The soldiers are some of our best customers, for we offer supplies and wares they cannot obtain by other means. It was Risad's idea to come here now, while the land is in turmoil. Where others saw only danger, he saw opportunity. It is Risad who owns the 3 trading caravans that travel the roads of Skyrim. Long ago, I was an orphan on the streets of Corinth. I stowed away aboard a trade ship that brought me here. It was Risad who found me. He provided the funds to start this caravan and put me in charge of it. I owe him more than I could ever hope to repay. May the sun keep you warm, even in this land of bitter cold.